Afternoon, guys. It's working, bringing you a quick update on Ripple. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. I had a couple requests for Ripple, so I wanted to bang out a very quick video on it, guys. We're looking at Ripple to the US dollar for this is the one-day chart on Bitfinex, guys. Looking at the bigger picture, guys, Ripple is following a very similar pattern as to a few other altcoins and Bitcoin, which is not surprising at all, since we know that Ripple does follow Bitcoin like many other altcoins. So the patterns are very similar. But I'm counting, of course, during the all-time high, we had 5 clear waves up. We had an ABC correction down. We had an attempted impulse up, which is labeled as an X wave, and then I do believe that we're at an ABC correction from there. The question is whether or not we've seen the bottom of this C correction, and I can see a count where we have and a count where there's still one more wave down. So let's just kind of zoom in here and see if we can pick apart what we're looking at here. If in fact that we have seen the bottom, if in fact the bottom is in, we're looking at now the possibility of a 1-2 wave. Now let me go in here to the 4-hour. If I switch over here to the 4-hour chart, guys, we'd be looking at a 1-2, and this does look like a possible bull flag that we have here, but either a bull flag or a bullish pennant that we're looking at here. Doesn't mean this has to be, guys. We could look at this as a descending triangle. That's a possibility as well, which would be kind of a neutral. Actually, it kind of sometimes favors the bears. But with this pole here, it kind of looks like a bull flag. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. We have a very clear descending resistance line that's been in place for quite some time now. They've been in place since, let's see, the start of it, which was back in mid-May. It's been tested multiple times. We're coming right up to that descending resistance point now. If we can break above it, if price can break above this, guys, it's going to be a very bullish indication. We'll break a very bearish trend. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying, guys, that's a real possibility. We're going to have to keep an eye on this to see if it does. If it does break above it, we're watching this structure here. And if I zoom in, I want to look at the bigger picture, guys. If we can break above this structure, break above this descending resistance line, then we're going to be looking at a lot of resistance right here. There's a very strong supply zone between 44 cents and 47 cents, guys. This will be a very, very strong resistance. The good news is once we break above this structure, there's not a lot of resistance until about 44 cents. But if we zoom in here and we take a look at the smaller structure, if we do break out, obviously this descending resistance line, we'll have to take that out. We're going to need to watch out for a double top here. In other words, we're going to need to get above this high of this prior structure, which is sitting at about 37 cents, somewhere thereabouts. So if price does break out, watch out for a bull trap right at that 37 cents, come right back down. But if it does break out and we do break above that descending resistance line, guys, that's going to be a very bullish indication, and it kind of diminishes the possibility of a possible bull trap, even though it doesn't take it away altogether. To the downside, guys, there is not a lot of support until we get down to about 27 cents, somewhere thereabouts. That is a relatively decent support area. However, the support that's much stronger and where there's a much stronger demand is between 23 cents and 20 cents. And the most bearish scenario has one more leg down, possibly testing that demand zone. If price does get down here, I've got fiat on the side. If price does end up coming down this low, I'd buy this all day long between 23 and 20 cents. I'm not saying it's ever going to get there. It might not ever get there. But if it does, that's a must-buy in my opinion, between 23 and 20 cents. That's an absolute must-buy. If it does get there, I don't believe it would go any lower than that, in my opinion. Doesn't mean it can't, just means I don't believe it will. So again, we're watching the structure as it reaches the apex here. We can expect a major move up or down to the downside. We're going to be watching for a possible bear trap. Possibly price ends up breaking down, possibly coming down to this prior low, this resistance point here, just to come right back up and to the upside. So at that point, we're going to be watching this 27 cents. If it does break below 27, I think it's going to be a very quick drop. Possible double bottom here, more than likely 23 cents. To the upside, guys, of course, we're going to be watching that 37 cents high, 37 cent high of this prior structure, and if it goes above that, I think it's a very quick rise to at least 44 cents. So again, as we approach the apex of this wedge, guys, that's going to tell us that's the more and more likely probability tells us we're going to see a major breakout up or down. If we look at the excuse me, guys. We look at the 4-hour MACD, we're giving a very neutral indication, moving almost sideways. MACD and signal line also moving almost sideways. The RSI sitting in neutral territory at about 47. The daily RSI sitting right in neutral territory at about 42, so really giving us no real indication which way price is going to move. We come over here and we look at the EMA. This is on the 4-hour. We're looking at the 21, 8, and 55-day EMA, as well as the 50-day moving average. Those have all converged on top of one another, guys, and as I've told you guys in videos in the past, anytime you see something like this, you can expect a larger move up or down. It doesn't tell us which way it's going to move, but it does tell us there's a very strong possibility of a major breakout coming in one direction or another, and at that point all we can do is sit and wait and see which way price does end up breaking out and react accordingly, guys, to those support and resistance zones that I've been watching. So am I going to be trading Ripple right now? No, I'm not. If you are, I would take very small positions, wanting to, if you do go long, I'd have my stop loss right below this wick right here, sitting at about 30 cents, somewhere thereabouts to the upside, guys. I wouldn't be shorting Ripple right now, in my opinion. I just think there's too many resistance points here to the downside, or excuse me, support points to the downside. But hey, you guys do whatever you want to do. There could absolutely be a stronger wave down, and we could absolutely see this. But this is where I'm going to get extremely interested. I already do have some of my long-term holdings in Ripple, which I'm not selling. I'm just those have just been put away for, I won't look at those for another year. But I will look at adding to my long position if it in fact comes down to 23 to 20 cents. At that point, I will absolutely add to my long position in that area. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video there, guys. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, I would appreciate an upvote or a resteem or a like, depending on where you're viewing this. Until next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.